Hmm.
So what this is a framework, and it's meant to give you a means for evaluating and comparing different potential positions that may fit you. And so the idea is to capture the essence of what you want and not just like say what tasks and roles that might fit you, but really the underlying whys of what's important to you, and to prioritize those, to weight those so that you have a way to evaluate different types of things you may be going after or thinking about. So it will help you to identify how closely a specific role will fit, even if it sounds crazy or out there or anything else. We can put it in there and see how closely it may come to all your core whys. So it starts by basically compiling a list of interesting roles. It could be anything from customer care to marketing professional to astronaut to school crossing guard. I don't know, right? And so anything that sounds interesting to you, or you've thought about, or dreamt about, or somebody says you might be good at, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. We want to talk about that, right? Because this is going to be the foundation of the types of roles that might fit, and underlying that, the core why of what would be interesting about that. For example, if I said, yeah, I've always thought being an astronaut would be interesting. I say, why? Because of the adventure. So the why of that really isn't, necessarily being an astronaut. It's like the adventure part, or maybe it's the recognition that comes with this, or it's something to do with space. So the core why is what we're looking for in all of these. So basically, what you say is, let's say, you want to be a marketing professional. This role is appealing to me because, and you list the why, because it involves creativity. Um, it allows me to have self-expression. And so what we want to get to is what feeds your soul about that role, or what would feed your soul about that role if you never had it before. And why is it appealing? And to get to the underlying core why. And then what we do is we take those underlying values, the core why, say adventure or self-expression or creativity, and we put them up here in a spreadsheet. So we're going to have a row of your core why. So this person said, let me see if I can put this a little larger so you can see this better. All right, so the spreadsheet is going to have basically an XY axis, and the X axis here is what your whys are. So this person said entrepreneurial, involves creativity, creates well-being, good for planet health, wants to help people, wants to make a difference, involves education, storytelling, working with people, conducting research, low stress, has a community social aspect, it's making the money that she wants, it involves problem solving, and allows her to be in control of her own time. So those are the core whys. So you see, it's not like a typical job description that says, well, I'd like to create, social media campaigns. That's nice in terms of what you want to do. Why do you want to do it? So that's what this line is about. And then these are the roles that you might want to evaluate. So this person was saying, well, I'd be interested in maybe being a life coach or home decorator, a yoga instructor, home remodeler, real estate agent, photographer, clothing designer, actor, technical product manager, fashion business developer, or baker chef. So it's pretty disparate. But that's us. We're human beings. We have a lot of different wide-ranging interests and different things we would possibly want to do. So we take all the things that she's considered or thought would be cool, and then we plot them here on this y-axis. And we call those the roles of interest. So up top, values, down the side, roles of interest. So what we want to do next is weight everything here. So you got a weighting row, and we're going to give you 100 points, right? What we want to do is distribute those 100 points over your different Ys. So it has to equal 100 points total. So if I give you a basket of points and you had to distribute them across your core values or your Ys, this person did 10 for entrepreneurials, the highest thing. It's got to be entrepreneurial. That's the most important thing to this person. And if you look at what would be next, she's got 8 that involve creativity, making a difference, low stress, making 100K. And those are kind of her second tier important Ys. And then she's got everything else. And so the stuff that's low, you can see is conducting research, involving education, and create well-being for others. So basically, she's kind of prioritized everything and said, okay, if these are all the things that are important to me, this is the most important, this is the least important.
So it doesn't
So it
necessarily
doesn't
have to
necessarily
be
have to
1 to
be
10,
1 to
right?
10, right?
It is 100 points. So you give literally 95 points to one and 1 point to everything else. If you had
Okay.
6 things, right? The important thing is that you have a relative weighting, right? So if I gave you an unlimited amount of points, you might say, well, I'll give that 1,000 and that 200 and that 500. It's going to get kind of skewed. So we did it out of 100 so that you kind of have a relative idea. Like if I say something's 82%, you have a context to know what 82% would be. So however you want to contextually do it and it makes sense to you, can, but this is just a framework and the basic recommendation of how to do it. Any of these templates that I give you, if you can make it better, go for it. And if it makes more sense to you, do a different way, fine. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Okay. So once we have this weighting in, so now the most entrepreneur can get is 10 out of 10, right? So as she rates these, like life coach gets a 10, it's very entrepreneurial. Home decorator, 9. I guess she's working for somebody else, maybe perhaps. So maybe that gets a 9 instead of a 10. A yoga instructor, not quite as creative because she's going to have to go through certain routines and there's just certain ways to do this. And it's not super entrepreneurial, or it is super entrepreneurial, but it's not like the most. A home remodel real estate agent, very entrepreneurial. It's up to her to get all the stuff done. And then you look at like technical product manager, very non-entrepreneurial. It's like, this is like, you're going to be told what to do. You're going to follow the book, and it's not entrepreneurial at all, in her opinion. And baker and chef is very entrepreneurial. So again, out of 10, that's the most you can give something for entrepreneurial. So let's take a 3, right? So the most I could give creates well-being is a 3. So you see these one, the life coach, home decorator, and yoga instructor all get 3 out of 3. They all create well-being for other people. Whereas technical product manager, she said, not at all. It doesn't create well-being for her, which may or may not be true, but in her opinion, it did, right? So we go through and then we evaluate all the different roles based on the whys and how much weighting you give to each. And you'll come up with a grand total number here. And as you see, she's got 2 clear winners when it comes to all the different roles she's considering, and there are some clear losers here. While baker and chef sounds really interesting and fun and exciting to get to make all the donuts in the morning, whatever, when she mapped it against all the other things that she wants out of her career, it actually scores pretty low. So, it gets, in control of our time, hardly ever, because you're tied to a retail establishment. Conducting research, and I could really do much research other than maybe recipes. Storytelling, well, I guess you get to talk to the customers and storytell a little bit, but you're going to be more baking than anything else. Involves education. Well, once you're educated on this, it's probably not a lot of education that she's going to be doing or learning or providing others. And she really thought that it wasn't doing anything for planet health, 0. And so it really doesn't come up to a very high score, even though it may sound exciting in her imagination or her when she talks to other people about what she might want to do. So questions about this so far?
One quick one.
Yeah.
On the why,
Hang on one second.
are we using
these because I'm getting an echo here.
I am too, yeah.
There we go. Try that.
So on the why, are we using the ones provided to us, like entrepreneurial, planet health, storytelling, or are we making up our own?
We're going to make up your own. That's going back to the earlier slide. Let me bring this back up. Shoot, hang on. Give me 1 second. I guess escape out of here and get back to the other screen and be able to go faster. All right, so the first thing we're going to do in this exercise is to compile a list of your interesting roles. So I want what we'll do now is just like, again, it could be astronaut marketer, customer service rep. It doesn't matter. As long as you've thought it has an interest to you, we're going to say, okay, well, why would that be interesting? So for me, I would say coaching, right? And coaching is interesting for me because the why is I get to help other people. It's important to me. The other why is it uses my intellectual capacity. So it uses intellect would be another why. A third why might be uses creativity. So I'm writing all those down saying, okay, the role is coaching. The why is helping others. It involves intellect. and involves creativity. Those are the 3 whys. You may only have 1 why for each position that you come up with. Let's say astronaut again, it's just adventure. Sounds adventurous, right? So your why is adventure. And then we go on to the next role. So the next role of interest might be physicist. Wow, they sound really cool. Why? Because I can have an impact on the world. So your why would be impact on the world, right? And then the next role and so forth. So what we want to do first is compile a list of interesting roles or roles that you've thought about ever since you were a kid, thought it'd be interesting. And it doesn't matter whether it's too grandiose, like, I want to be on the first mission to Mars, something else like that. This hasn't happened yet. That doesn't matter. Don't get to the how. Well, how would that happen? Well, since it's not likely, I'm not going to consider it. Go ahead and consider it, because what we want to do is find out why you're interested in that. And the other thing you can do, guys, is if you're taking the MBTI, Harrison, or ONET assessments, look at the list of roles that they have for you. And if there's anything on those lists that, like, yeah, that could be interesting, just say, okay, why?
Even if there is like 0 shot of us doing that.
Correct. So we want to stay away from the question how, right? Because it doesn't really. So if you want to be a professional baseball player, highly unlikely, because you don't have the training, you're too old, all these other stuff. So that's all the how, right? But the why is because, well, man, it'd be so cool to have that recognition on the field, or to be able to use my body, or to just be in ultimate physical condition, or whatever the real why is. That's what I'm after.
Okay.
So what we're going to do first is we're going to brainstorm your potential roles, both possible and alternative. So the possibles are, yeah, you could do something in customer service. The alternative might be, I want to be a professional baseball player, or an astronaut, or something else like that, right? So do not contain yourself to only the things that you think you can do. I want you to dream big here and get to the underlying reason why it would be interesting to you. Okay. So let's take a couple minutes and write down the roles of interest. Just the roles. Let's not do the whys yet. Just the stuff that you've thought about ever since you were a kid. Could be like fireman, could be travel agent, whatever it is. Just like create a quick cursory list of all the things that seem interesting. Okay.
Got it.
All right.
Mike, we're just listing careers, or we're doing the filling in the chart.
You're just listing careers right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought.
The stuff that you've maybe been interested in, or
Mhm.
you know, it could be now, could have been 10 years ago, could have been when you were a kid. Just stuff that like kind of really attracts your interests.
Can we get a couple more minutes? Because I just opened up your what's it called? The job toolkit.
Yeah. The role evaluation, the thing I sent you last night.
Oh no, you sent it was after our one-on-one where you
Oh,
said
yeah,
you
yeah,
sent
yeah,
it
yeah,
before,
yeah.
but it was lost in my.
So all the sectors that I had in there.
Yeah, because I put the ones that I had on the top of my, they were like on the top of my list and what I usually would go for.
Okay.
But now I kind of like want to sector out, I guess.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Ross, you got your list?
I apologize for the background noise, taking the trash out. I'm sorry.
I hear that. It's funny.
It happens way too often and it's extremely loud.
Yeah, my list is not very large. It's kind of small.
Yeah. Let's see. So we spoke last year at diverse cultures, meeting people, field work,
Mhm.
beauty and aesthetics, teaching and coaching, presentation acknowledgement, tranquility, learning. So that's the whys. Okay, so what was, yeah, I don't think we got to the roles.
For me, it was like landscape designer or marketing manager within landscape design, field marketing manager, small business marketing consultant, interior designer, corporate trainer. Also travel marketing manager.
Mhm.
Or just travel marketing in general, but manager, I guess.
Anything out there, like stuff that's like kind of off the charts?
Off the charts?
Yeah.
I mean, I really did enjoy doing fashion design. It's just too hard to get into. It's just
Yeah. Okay, but put that in. You know, again, it's
okay.
It doesn't matter that you can do it or not. It's like why you're interested in it. Okay, so Gazra, what do you got so far?
So, dream job, what I've always wanted probably would be a sports consultant. Then I have lawyer because that's what when I took the 16 personalities test, that's literally what it told me. And I actually, before even knowing that, out of I think I told you, I tried to go to the law school route, studying for the LSAT. It just was not for me. So I tried that. That was my question. I was like, even if it tells you like we know it's not gonna happen, should we put it? You're like, yeah, because I want to know the why. It was
Exactly.
for a lawyer.
Okay, great.
Like it ties up to sports consultant, but sports agent. And then I put customer service. But last time I said that, you're like, you need to kind of specify it. So I went into detail saying social media specialist, social support specialist, client relations specialist, customer success manager. So like just within the customer service title. Then I put advertising, marketing. I put sales. And then from the email you sent, one thing I think this might count as a hobby, but something that just sounds interesting is flipping houses, like buying, fixing them up, and flipping them.
Great.
And then another thing I have, what was that?
Good. No, I love it. That's perfect. I like what you're doing here. Yeah.
And then another one is I have a couple distant family members and a friend or two that are in the beer and wine industry, and that just sounds extremely interesting.
Cool.
And they make good money, so why not?
Okay, great. So I just give you mine is like a director, CEO, rock star. That would be out there, right? Venture capitalist, adventure guide, a professional runner, architect, coach, author, astronomer. And now what we want to do with all these things is, ask yourself, okay, why, right? And it's like, what's the why behind this? And try and go deep on this. And Ross, maybe what you want to do since you've taken a shot at this is go in there and do something a little deeper. Let me share my screen with you on this. So look at this. So in the template that I sent you, there's a second page, right? In the second page, you can actually kind of categorize things further. It has to do with your earning, what you're doing, with your environment, with the format of what you're doing, or drives your purpose. And if you want to, you can take it another level deeper and color code these things and just be like, okay, this is why that's important. So you've got your why and how you categorize that why. It has to do with purpose, has to do with earnings, has to do with what you're actually doing, has to do with your environment. However you wanted to maybe categorize those, you can. You don't have to, but it gives another level of depth to this. So let's take a few minutes and just review the core whys for each of your roles. For example, let's take one of yours, Kazra. Give me a lawyer, because that's one that's like out there for you. So why is that interesting to you?
I mean, I've always wanted to be a lawyer as a kid because one, depends what kind of law you get into. Mm-hmm. You get to help people.
Okay. So helping people, one.
You get to help. Second is challenging. You really have to think outside the box.
Okay. So one is helping
solutions. It challenges you.
Challenging. Okay, so those are two elements of what you want to write down for your whys, right? So one is helping others, two is challenging work.
And then it's as bad as it might sound, it's a good title to have.
Okay, so status.
Yeah. And
there's nothing wrong with it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I mean, you could want acknowledgement, you could want recognition, which is fine. And we're humans. It's part of what we need is the Maslow hierarchy of effects and is belonging, right? So there's nothing bad or wrong about any of this stuff. Let's say you want to make 150,000, 200K a year. Okay, that's fine. This is your lifestyle. It just is. And there are plenty of people.
Yeah, so I guess one would also be money.
Yeah. Okay. So another why would be financially lucrative, secure, whatever word you want to use. Financial security.
As far as law goes, I feel like these would be it.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna share. You mind if I share yours, Ross?
That's fine.
Okay. So let's go to desktop one, share. All right, so can you see this?
Yeah.
So I put Cosmos down here just because I didn't have another sheet to type on, so this is Cosmo. And so up here, we have all of Ross's Ys.
And can you send that to me, Mark? Because I can't find it.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And I missed a couple when you were telling me. I just couldn't type that quickly. These are landscape design, field marketing manager, corporate trainer, interior designer, travel marketing agent, fashion designer. I think I missed one.
Small business consultant, small business marketing consultant.
All right. So within each of these, do we capture all your Ys up here correctly? Or is there any missing? We've got.
No, that captures it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So Cosmo, this is what I want you to do. Is I want you to take each of your roles. So your sports consultant, Y. Lawyer, we just talked about. Sports agent, social media specialist, advertising. I don't know why this is like.
And a question I had.
Yeah.
Since I went into detail for customer service, should I make each one of their own instead of grouping them together?
If you start to see like Ys, you could group together. Like if they're all kind of like, well, this they have the same Y, that's fine.
Okay.
What I really want to see is I want you to push the boundaries and kind of unearth all the core Ys so that there are none hidden. So like we have an exhaustive list of this is what's really going on, what's important.
Yeah, I'm even right now I'm trying to think of more Ys for a lawyer because I know I have some. It's just not coming to me at the moment. So
Yeah.
I'll probably go back to these and add every single time something pops up.
Great, cool. All right, so just take a minute or two to go through that, and then we'll come back and we'll test each of these just to see what else you got.
And another quick question. Sorry.
Yeah.
For sports agent and sports consultant, should I group that?
I'm guessing those are going to be similar, unless you can find a different Y, because those sound like they're going to be hitting on the same Ys.
It's going to be the exact same Ys, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just put a slash and put those together.
Thank you.
Whereas flipping house and beer and wine could be totally different. Or maybe they're the same.
100%. Maybe.
And Ross, while you're at it, if you could think of anything else out there, just want to make sure we have an exhaustive list. No, not missing anything.
What do you think I should be, Mark?
And if I'm wrong, you'll come and kill me.
No, actually, no, I wouldn't. No, but I'd love to hear what you think.
Well, since I don't know every career there is
Right.
out there,
Right.
The thing that shines through clearly for you is your right brain, right? It's like has to do something with your creativity, expression, and the ability to just like develop things from greenfield. It's just like that's where you shine. It's like developing and designing and building. So anything that has to do with that,
Right.
like flourish as an architect, right? Because you're getting to literally design buildings from concepts and stuff like that, and taking requirements and creating things at it. So creation is the huge. So for you, I think the organization is more important than anything else. Like who's going to let you do that? And have kind of free reign, as opposed to putting the bridle on you and just saying, no, you got to do it this way.
Right.
Because that's not going to be a lot of fun for you. So when I hear over and over again, and where you were really successful and you enjoyed yourself was when you were given that free reign. It's okay, hey, go do this, go figure it out and come back with a solution. which again could be a lot of different roles. You know, I've done product manager roles, which were like that, and where I got out to go talk to the customers, get the requirements, build the prototypes, do the testing, and it was fun. You know, it was fun to do all of that stuff. Where it became unfun is when the boss came in and says, "No, we need to do it this way." It's like, well, the customer didn't want it that way. No, the management wants it done this way, and that's just frustrating as hell for me.
Yeah.
So I think anything on your list would be within reason, as long as you find the right organization that supported your creativity.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if that helps, but you know, if I'm interviewing with people, that's the thing I would be asking most about for your position. Is like, you know, what is the how much leverage will I have to develop solutions and make recommendations as opposed to being told what to do? And then the other thing, Ross, is what are you really passionate about doing? I mean, fashion is that whole building, creating thing. Is it like a specific thing within fashion? Is it shoes? Is it menswear? Is it, you know, undergarments? Like what floats your boat? Same thing with interior design. Would you want to do it for private individuals, hotels, you know, kind of grandiose across a whole range of things, or, you know, very specific? Would you zero in on certain rooms or, you know, types of buildings, and really overlay what you would never get tired of doing? And the basis of that is, what problem will you love to solve over and over and over again? And of course, there's going to be a variety in that, but what is the basic problem that you're solving that you just love solving so much that it just doesn't get tiring? So if I ask you this question, interior design, what problem are you solving for people?
The problem I'm solving for them is creating a space that reflects their personality, taste, interests.
Mhm.
So it's almost like that living room is their brand, if you will,
Yeah,
and it's who they are,
yeah,
and they're gonna always feel happy being in that space.
right. So the problem is they don't feel happy in their space, maybe, right?
Maybe yeah, maybe they don't have in space, or
Right.
they, you know, they just
That's-
want to have a beautiful living room or something.
Exactly. So the solution is, I'm going to create a beautiful space that makes you happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And same thing with the fashion thing. I mean, I launched my. I hated the fact that I hate cargo shorts. I think they're just an abomination. So I created a line of men's shorts that were fun and fashionable and preppy and stylish, and
Okay. So cool. And what problem are you solving there?
just I guess the problem I saw there was because a lot of the fun stuff with shorts is usually swimming trunks. So my stuff had a lot more patterns to them, and they were just very stylish. I mean,
So
they're
you're solving the problem of needing something to wear in a functional setting that's actually stylish, something else like that, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So where does that, when you look at your whys, I'm looking at your top ones, where does that really fit in? Presentation acknowledgement, truthfully, yes, which the customer experiences?
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Kaiser, how's it coming along?
I'm on the last one.
Cool. All right, let's see what you got in your whys, Kaiser. Let's go through those and just see what you got in addition to helping others, challenging work, status, financial security.
Okay. So for the sports one, I put loving the material, knowing the material, being good at the job, working with clients, helping others out, lucrative salary, can open other doors. For advertising, marketing, having to think outside the box, challenging, being creative, having to find solutions, having to understand the thought process of the target group that they're trying to reach.
Mm-hmm.
For the fourth one, flipping houses, keeps you busy. It's a business. You can, if you so choose, you can partner up with others to make it easier, as in both financially and creatively. Creative and financially lucrative. So I grouped up beer and wine with sales because on the same category for me. Learning more about the product, interacting with clients, having to sell, creating connections, challenging, finding solutions and being creative with them.
Mm-hmm.
For customer service, I put the same thing as sales, figuring out solutions, making connections, helping others out, being creative, challenging.
Okay, so now what we want to do is let's combine the overlaps. So all the challenging is obviously challenging, right? So a couple times there, client interaction, teamwork, creativity, developing solutions.
Figuring out, yeah.
And so let's pare this down and make sure that we understand what's feeding your soul about each of these roles. I'm getting acknowledged and I'm getting status. I'm making money. I'm being challenged. I'm helping others.
I feel like for me, money would probably be top.
Okay, well, we're going to do that in a second. Just make sure you have a comprehensive list.
Okay, so let me put, okay.
And then what we did with yours, Ross, which is the first time I've done this with a client this way, is we've actually super rated it to 110 points and then subtracted 10 points for the things that you didn't like, which is kind of cool because I used to do it a little bit differently where it'd come up to some odd number, not 100, but I like that it comes up to 100 with your detractors. So when you're looking at this, is this still the weighting that you would still have for these? Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. 125. Would this still be the numbers you would give each of these Ys that you have?
Let's see here. I would say so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so I came up with 7.
7. Okay. So if you do the quick math, 7 into 100 is what? 13 and a half, somewhere around there. So your average number is going to be around 13 and a half, right? So Ross had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So he had 13. So 13 into 100 was more like 7 points each. So his average number was around 7. So yours is going to be like double his because you have less Ys, right? So what we want to do is take the template that I sent you, and we can.
You said that last night, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So we could do
the
this
role evaluation.
Yeah. Role evaluation. So if you open that, there's a template in there. So what we want to do is down the left-hand side, put all those things: sports lawyer, sports agent, social media specialist, customer success manager, advertising, sales, flipping house, beer and wine. That's all down the A column. And then across the one row, we're going to put all of your Ys: helping other, challenging work, status, financial security, teamwork, client interaction, developing solutions.
And just a quick question I have.
Yeah.
Because you said by like the highest number would be 13.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and that's
am I
not the
doing, like,
highest. That's
let's
just like, that's the
say-
median. That's just the median. That's like, if it was average, it would be around 13. But if you really, really wanted that Y, you give it like a 20.
So there is no max on how high you can go.
No max, as long as I'm giving you 100 points to start with. Actually,
Okay.
we can
What
give
if
you,
we exceed the 100 points?
well, we'll give you 110 like we did with Ross, right? So if you give 110,
Okay.
we're gonna have another set of columns that are your dislikes. So I don't want to have a shit crappy commute, right? I don't want to have a rigid structure.
Yeah.
I don't want to have an unforgiving culture. I don't want someplace that lacks diversity. And that adds up to a -10, bringing the grand total to 100 points. So we could give you extra points to work through here, but you could take 2 passes. The first pass is, helping others. That'd be 15. Challenging work, 12. Acknowledge and something about status. Desired status, 15, creativity, using creativity, 17, teamwork, 4, something like that. And just like put the things across the top and then give your ranking.
Got it. For each job. Got it.
Yeah. So we can try this real fast. And Ross, I'm gonna send you this right now so we can actually use this. Give me 1 second. Cut this out of this. Cut. And then save yours. Let me email this to you so you can kind of do some measurement on these other ones. And while I'm doing this, Cosmo, you go ahead and put your, if you would, on your template.
Okay.
All right, Ross.
Mark, I've got a 9 o'clock Zoom call with my new company.
Yeah.
So I need to hop off. They want me to introduce myself, so I got to prepare what I'm going to say about myself.
Oh no, go for it. And then I just sent you the roll of actually template that we've done together. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Bye.
Good luck. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, so shoot.
I'm just putting these in real quick.
Yeah. I'm gonna follow along with you since it's just me and you right now. So I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna put those up there. We'll try and fix this. Not know why it's doing that. Why can't I get this to justify? There we go. All right, give me your list of whys so I have them up here. You said, what were your whys?
So I put lucrative salary, challenging, finding solutions,
Wait, give me.
creative.
Wait. Too fast. I don't type that fast. Lucrative salary.
Yeah, lucrative salary, challenging,
Challenging. Mhm.
finding solutions,
This is
Creative,
solution based.
helping others out.
Others.
Client interactions.
Great. Okay.
Similar, but creating connections.
Okay. Yes.
And
Okay.
as we said, desired status.
Yeah. Yeah, desire. Let's say, just say, what's the word we could say here? Status. Okay, I just put desire.
Honestly, what comes to my mind is power,
Okay,
but that probably isn't the right word to use.
so we'll put it there for now. That's fine. And so now, if there's anything else, you could put it in there.
Okay.
Which leaves a couple columns open for you for afterwards. But let's give you. So let's go across. So knowing that like 13.5 is the average, is lucrative salary higher than average or lower?
One second. Oh, okay. Sorry. What was that?
So if 13.5 is your average number, right? It's like, that's the median. Is lucrative
Yeah.
salary higher than average or lower than average in relative to all these others?
Probably slightly above average.
Okay, so let's give it a 15.
15. Yeah.
All right, challenging. How many points? Challenging work.
13.
That's just average. It's like, you'd be okay. Didn't you'd be okay if it did. All right, solution-based solutions, creating solutions. Let's say this, that.
14.
Okay. 14. Creativity, creative role.
7.
Helping others.
9.
Client interaction.
11.
Mhm. Connecting with others.
15.
And power, status.
15.
16.
15. Yeah. 1 5.
Okay. Well, you only got 99. You got 11 more points you can spread out.
But helping out others. 13.
Okay.
And then yeah, I don't know. So okay. Creative probably a 12 then.
Okay.
That's as far as that's it.
You got 2 more points.
2 more points. Wow.
Yeah.
Then lucrative salary probably a 17. So
Okay.
add 2.
Yeah. All right. So you got 110. Let's say you come up with some other stuff after this call, you can put it in there and just readjust. So you get 110 here. Why? Because we're going to take 10 away here for things you don't like. So what are things you dislike, you definitely don't want to have in your next role?
Great question. I feel like this comes with every single role, but pressure.
Pressure. Yeah. So
There's
pressure.
too much pressure.
Yeah. Okay.
Toxic work environment.
Yep. What does that look like for you? Yeah.
Toxic work environment is miscommunication, not miscommunication, but yeah, miscommunication. Like management said something, but it's not being communicated properly. And when things don't get done to their liking, they're like, why didn't you do it? And then you're like, well, I wasn't told this. It's just miscommunication. I saw one on, I think it was Ross, but travel.
Mhm.
Being
Travel.
the job being too far. Yeah, I forgot what it said exactly. But commute, long commute.
Okay, so is that travel and commute the same thing, or you mean like I gotta go away for a week?
No, not work travel, not going to like a different city or stuff, but just like from home to work. So a commute, like the daily commute,
Okay.
back and forth.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah. Maybe it's the same as toxic work environment, but not having a great connection with my team members or management.
Okay.
Not being relationship wise.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And that's gonna be difficult to measure on a role. So if I looked at something like within, Hasbro toys, they have this customer evangelist role. I won't know how my relationship is going to be with my boss till I'm in there, but I can know that the work culture is, very serious, or they have long hours. So let's put something in that you're going to be able to measure and take a look at before you actually get into that role, because the whole relationship thing is you're not going to know until you're there.
Would this work? Knowing, like, not fully knowing or having an understanding of the product that you're going to be selling or working.
Yeah.
Like, you basically, that's the focus of the company.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, you don't really believe in the product. It'd be like, yeah, it's a Tonka toy. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, believe in product or service. Cool. Okay, so now we're going to give you negative 10 points to just distribute over these four. So you got pressure environment, toxic work environment, long commute, don't believe in product service. So you got 10 points, negative points to distribute, like how important are each of these?
Toxic work environment would be a 4.
Okay. Okay.
Long commute would be a 2.
Okay.
And then not believing in the product would be a 3.
Okay. So you got negative 1.
I'm at a 7, right? Negative 1.
Yeah,
what was the last one?
High pressure environment. So that would be negative 1, because that's what you got left.
Yeah, then that would be a 1.
Okay, so now you see it comes up to 100 points, right? If I put this at 100. So you got a little overage here. You got this for your negatives. And now what we do, let's go ahead and try ranking one of these so you see what it looks like. So your sports consultant, out of 17, how likely is to have a lucrative salary? I mean, is sports consultant lucrative, or do they pay him low? And this might be
on the lucrative end, so I would probably say 13 or 14.
Okay, let's say 14. Challenging work. Is that going to be challenging for you to do something like that?
Not for me, because I love sports and I know sports, and it's like one of my main things. So probably not. So I'll probably give it like a 6.
Okay. How about developing solutions? Is it a solution-based thing?
I think so. I think I would give it like a 11 or 12.
Okay. How about, is it creative? Or are you going to be doing the stuff over and over again the same way?
I would say it's different from client to client. So I would say 15.
It's out of 12.
Oh, it's out of 12. I would give it a 12.
Okay. And then helping others, you got 13 points out of 13.
12.
Okay. Client interaction out of 11.
Out of 13, right?
11.
11. I would give it an 11.
You can't see my screen, huh?
Huh?
You're
No, I
not-
can't.
Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought I was sharing. Sorry. You're like
And then
guessing.
now
And I'm like,
yeah.
oh, sorry about that. Okay. Client interaction.
And then connecting with others, I would give it a 10.
10.
Actually, I would give it a 12. I would give it a 12. It's
Is that,
a good.
is that of 11?
I see 15. No. I'm talking about the connecting with others.
Oh, you're at the next one. Sorry, I'm behind you. All right,
Yeah.
stated power.
Got it. 13.
13. Okay. So initially you got 91, and let's say, is it high pressure?
No.
No, okay, so you give it a 0. Is it likely to have a toxic work environment?
That's a tough one because it depends on the company, not the
Yes.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
Now you see what I'm talking about.
yes, I'll give it a 0.
Okay, give it a 0 for now.
If you send me this, I'll switch out toxic work experience with something else.
Okay,
But I will put 0 for now. And then long commute, I would also have to change long commute.
okay.
It's kind of tough because you don't know where the company is.
That's true, but you can kind of know where the organization. Then once you have one in there, it could be sports consultant, LA Kings, right? And then you know where their thing is or something else. So some more. So this is a little bit contextual, yes. And
So I would put 0 because where I live really close to all the LA based
got it.
sports teams.
Okay, good. So I don't believe in product or service. That would be 0 because you do.
That'd be 0. Yeah.
Right. So basically, you
Yeah.
know, there's no detractors for that. So it comes up to 91, which could be really high. So that's something you should, obviously we've talked about this before, you should be looking into that. So part of your homework is to identify these organizations, start connecting with people on LinkedIn, having conversations with them. Just, hey, how did you get in there? What's your story? Is it a good organization? You know, what would you suggest if I was gonna, and try to establish those relationships. So after you do this evaluation, you find out maybe that's your top one. That's where I'm going to focus most of my effort, right?
Right.
And maybe you found that beer and wine is 92. Well, you know, maybe you should start talking to your relatives who are doing this stuff and say, hey, how can I get in this? What would I do? What training would I need? And just start looking into that. And asking him some of the other questions like, hey, how high pressure is it? You know, what's the work environment like? You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah.
Cool.
It's
All right.
a
So
full exercise though.
yeah, and then so basically, I'm going to send this to you. I want you to refine it. Go back through all of these, you know, roles you've come up with. Make sure all of your core whys are captured, and maybe there's something that isn't here yet. Oh my gosh, you know, actually what's really important to me is that I'm able to you know, grow fast in my career. It's got like a career path, you know, is important. You know, something like that, and throw that in there, and then just put your points back in there. You know that it's got to equal 110 here. Here it's going to equal 10 negative for the detractors, and then you can kind of get the assessment going.
Got it. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, this is good. Good job.
Thank you.
And if you have any questions, let me know. And then, you know, when we get on the next call, we could go deeper in some of this stuff. But right now, you know, really start to hone in on what the things that seem to hit all of your whys, and start having conversations with people, like literally people who are doing this. You want to talk to them. How'd you get there? How'd you start? What would you do differently? You know, what would you suggest for me? What training or certifications might I need? That kind of stuff. So you can get really, really clear, because the next thing you're going to start looking at is how feasible is this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, cool. I got it. That's good. The certifications and that, I gotta probably get on that.
Well, you just get, you know, like I said, have those conversations, because there might be different career paths within these targets that you have that might require different trainings and certifications, or, you know, who you know, or all that other good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'll go on LinkedIn and start connecting and starting up conversations.
Awesome, man. Good job today. And again, if you have any questions, reach out.
Thank you. I will. And Thursday.
Thursday, yes. We'll see you then.
See you then. Bye. Have a good one.
You too.